Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the King Streams with the one and only king with two titles, King Lord Ehud. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.
One of the greatest gifts in life is to realize that you are a gifted being. Here are gifted vibes from a gifted soul called King Lord Ehud. Keep it locked and tuned in.
I call him Kojo Vibes because he's sure got the vibes and the facts all in one. Suguyensu Kojo.
You know what? That's my favorite cuz. I can listen to him all day. He sure knows how to keep me locked in. You know what, cuz? Do what you do best.
He goes like, hi, I go by the name K to the I to the N to the G to the A. Hi, I go by the name K to the I to the N to the G Lord. Hey, Pressure.
Alright, so this is your homeboy K to the I to the N to the J Lord. You know how we do it 24/7.
Hello there everyone, my name is Kira Stante and I'd like to welcome you all back to yet another exciting episode of the Tie Podcast, a creative podcast where we discuss trending and relevant life issues in a humorous way to help you, our listeners, reduce stress after a long day. Guys, today's episode promises to be very exciting because we have someone very special in our midst. Some of you may already know him and some of you may not. That is if you are new to the show. Anyways, he goes by the name King Lord Ehud. King Lord happens to be the founder of this podcast and he's one of the most versatile and creative minds that I've ever met. One thing I like about King Lord is how he's able to bring his A game on top of any game. I mean, that was just by the way. But today's episode promises to be very exciting. So if you have any snacks, you would want to grab some popcorn, some chocolates, and then just stay tuned because it's going to be very exciting.
Thank you, Kira, for such a lovely introduction. Your boy is grateful. My topic for discussion is why you need to master how to communicate. Why you need to master how to communicate. You know, communication isn't something for specific people. Sometimes we think communication is for those who want positions in life, who want to become a class prefect, who wants to become a school prefect, become a politician, an MP, pastor. But communication is something everyone needs to master. Because let me tell you why. If only you want to become a prominent person in future, you have to master communication. You'll get to the point where you'll be interviewed. Even if you are not being called to your old school to give a speech to the students to encourage them to get to the level that you've gotten to and the kind of achievements you've made in your life, you will still be called to speak to your church youth. And even if you're not being called to give a speech at church or at your old school, you may be called for an interview on TV, radio station. I mean, people will come to you and ask you, how did you make it? And you should learn how to communicate. You know, we've all watched footballers on set being interviewed after football match and they not being able to express themselves, and we laugh. Why? Because they didn't master the art of communication. That is why. So it should tell you, if it is important for a footballer to learn how to communicate, how much more you, who is an entrepreneur? How then do you sell your stuff to people? You should master the art of communication if you are an entrepreneur. I'm telling you, for you, it should come easy to you because you should know how to sell your product. You should know how to influence someone, to convince someone to buy your product or get your product. Even if your product is not for the person, you should be able to convince the person to buy for their sibling, for their wife, their husband, for their relative. I mean, you understand? Sometimes I'm very surprised when I'm in a bus on my way to Kumasi or my way to Accra, and some people come into the bus to sell their medicine. I mean, the way they are able to communicate, even if you don't suffer any disease, you would still want to just buy it just in case you know someone. Maybe at that moment, no one comes to mind, but you will still want to buy it just in case. I mean, they are that good at selling products. You get it? And also, if you are always in the spotlight, like if you are an actress, you're an actor, you're a musician, yours should be your priority to master communication, because that is your work. That is your line of work, communication. Because I've listened to some interviews of Kwame Eugene when he was upcoming, and that is why I never liked him, because of the way he expressed himself. I mean, you could give an excuse that maybe he was young at that time, in his 20, 21, but give that same platform to Black Sherif. I've also listened to his interviews, and boy, the guy is good at expressing himself. I won't lie to you. I'm not talking about the fact that Black Sherif doesn't even speak correct English, but the guy is a deep thinker. Why do I say that? It's because of how he responds to questions. When you ask him a question, he pauses, think about it before he gives you a reply, and he does it in a very calm way. But when I was watching Kwame Eugene, before you even end asking him a question, he's so quick to answer, so quick. And I don't like people like that. So quick, like relax, listen to the question, and then answer. That is how communicators do. If you listen to professors being asked a question at seminars, they always soak the question in, then they start to give you a reply. And sometimes someone will say that all this that you are talking about doesn't really concern me, because I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not an actor, an actress, a musician, I'm not a footballer, I'm not a CEO. But as a Christian, your sole mandate is to win souls. And how do you go about that? Through communication. So if you don't even know how to communicate, how then would you be able to win a soul? So even as Christians, it is your mandate to master the art of communication. I mean, look at the life of Jesus. At the age of 12, he was sitting with wise men, Sadducees, Pharisees, masters of the word. I mean, people in high places in the church who knew the Bible in and out. The boy at the age of 12 was sitting amongst them, discussing the word. That was when he started sharpening his skill of communication, sitting with the elderly, learning how to talk, learning how to reply, watching and learning, observing, and also implementing the same. So I wasn't surprised when he grew up and he knew how to communicate excellently. Imagine if Jesus didn't know how to communicate. How would he have gone about doing his master's will? So as Christians, it should be your priority to master the art of communication, just because of soul winning. So one way you should learn how to master communication is through storytelling. And as I said, you should learn how to tell a story, because if you are at a seminar and you are being called upon to come and give us steps on how you made it, and you come and you give us the first key point, that wake up early. That is the first point, wake up early. And you don't have any story to back up why I should wake up early. I mean, I would forget it easily. But if you are telling me to wake up early, and you tell me the reason why waking up early has blessed your life and made you who you are today, I mean, oh boy, I'll forever remember that point because of the story behind it. So you should always learn how to tell a story. And how do you do that? Always find someone to tell about your day. That is how basic you can be. Find a friend. Send a person a VN every day telling the person about your day. If you have no friend and no one to communicate with, you still don't have an excuse. You have your phone. Click on record. Record yourself expressing your day or narrating your day to yourself. Afterwards, Click on play, listen to yourself. Did you sound interesting or not? And during that process, you would learn how to do away with filler words like and also you would also work on how to prevent yourself from saying or repeating words like so. So I woke up today, went to the shop. So when I got there, I saw someone, and so I didn't really. So you do away with a lot of so, and it also helps you to do away with yeah. So I got up here and I got to the place here, and I was talking to this person here. So it will help you to learn how to stop repeating words and also take care of your filler words. And also, one of the people that I admire in this life is my dad. My dad knows how to tell a story. I mean, I kid you not. The man knows how to tell a story. I mean, when we are young, he always takes us to school, right? And on our way to school, he always tells us a story, a coconut story. And that man just knew how to capture our attention from start to finish. I mean, the man can tell you a story on Adam and Eve, a story you've heard like 1,000 times, and you would still pay attention and listen. That is talent, pure talent. But he still mastered the art by telling us stories day in and day out on our way to school. During that process, he was still sharpening his skill. So you might have the talent, you might have the skill, but what do you do to sharpen it is the point I'm trying to make. The man is talented and gifted at telling stories, but he was still sharpening his skills by telling us stories upon stories each morning. I mean, the man can tell you a story on David and Goliath, and the way you go about articulating the story, you would still pause and listen. He could tell you about Moses and the Red Sea, parting the Red Sea, Moses and Pharaoh, let my people go, and you would want to listen. How? It is mastering the art of public speaking. That is the only way you can get someone's attention. When you learn how to master the art of storytelling. Don't be only good at texting. When it comes to texting, you text like 3 paragraphs. But when it comes to face-to-face, let's communicate, then you are found wanting. Some people, they can go for forums and seminars and they will never say a word, but they'll come back to their rooms and start venting all over the place. If you had all these brilliant ideas and questions, why couldn't you communicate it at the seminar or at the forum? It's because you've not mastered the art of communication. Period. You have no excuse. So I'm telling you today that no matter who you are, regardless of your background, your field of work, whoever you are, master the art of communication and also master the art of storytelling, and it will take you places and people would love to listen to you. I go by the name Ken Odehud. As you already know, it's been good the best. Have a lovely day, have a lovely week. God be with you. Shalom, peace, life to you. I'm out.